Hi everyone, I would like you to view this video after you view the video below that discusses what a relative clause is. Then I want you to come back and look at this video that focuses on a page of a text that I want you to combine. So I want us to look at what in the first four sentences, notice they have those together, and I disagree with that, but I would look at the first two sentences and I would not really see any way to combine them or want to combine them, because you might want to start a paragraph with a couple questions to get the reader involved. So I would focus on the next two sentences that talk about in high school. This is sentences 3 and 4. In high school, in 1998, high school students in Whitehall, Tennessee learned about 6 million Jewish victims of the Holocaust. The students were studying the Holocaust. Now you can combine these two sentences using a relative clause by looking to see what's being repeated in the second sentence. For example, we see that the word students, the word students here is being repeated. Oops, I don't know what I'm doing there. Sorry about that. And students here are being repeated. I guess I better just move this over it. Okay, so students and students are being repeated. So with this, we can use one of those relative clauses, because if you remember in the videos, they start with who, that, which for the most part, sometimes whom, sometimes whose, but we're not going to worry about those. Okay, so we have students and students. Because it's people, we're going to use who. So essentially we're going to type this entire sentence in 1998 in high school, or high school students, I'm sorry. In Whitewell, I don't type well. Do you see that? Learned about 6 million Jewish victims of the Nazis, okay? Now look at the second sentence, remember, and we've got students repeated. So we have students up here. We have to put the relative clause here, and we would replace the students with who were studying the Holocaust. Now, would we use commas? In the case of relative clauses, you can use them or you can't, you don't need to. In this case, I wouldn't, because I am singling out only the high school students who were studying the Holocaust. Now, if all the high school students in Whitewell, Tennessee were, then it would be sort of an aside, different information. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but you'd put commas in. So it depends on what it is you're trying to say, okay? Either way is going to be acceptable. Now, in the next two, it says, it is hard to imagine a number that large. They decided to collect 6 million paper clips to make the number seem more real. What's repeated? Number and number. So it's that number. It's hard to imagine a number that large. So I'm going to type sentences 5 and 6, the first one. Probably going to do the second one because that first one's shorter. So I'm going to type the second one. they decided to collect, spell it right, girl, 6 million paper clips to make the number seem more real. Now, where is number? Right here. Now, I've got hard to imagine that large. Make the number that seems hard to imagine. We're not going to put number in again. And I'm going to put commas. Why? Because this is an information that is important to the sentence. The sentence makes sense and gives information that we need. But if we're going to add some additional information, we're going to repeat number. And when we repeat number, then we're going to put in that it is replaced with that. Seems hard to imagine. We take off that number that large, and we've got our combination. Now look at 7. It's all by itself, and then you're going to move on to 8 and 9. And 8 and 9 talks about a Jew named, or it talks about paper clips, and this talks about paper clips. So you're going to want to put this by paper clips or this part by paper clips. Either way is going to be fine. And I'm going to leave that to you because I've shown you 2 examples of how to do this. If you have questions about relative clauses after viewing this and after viewing the other information, you should have looked at that first. I want you to then contact me with Remind, but when you do that, don't say, oh, how do you combine 10 and 11? Give me a sentence that you've combined and explain to me why it's correct or not, and then I will reply to you and give you some information and help. That's all I have for this week. That's what you're focusing on. And I hope you have a good weekend and good week.